Sasha Banks and Naomi are returning to WWE soon. Plus, Triple H's favourites could be getting a major Raw push. Find out who that is in a minute. And which top Raw star could be about to fight Mike Tyson. The old boss go. Welcome back, Boss and Glow. Sasha Banks and Naomi possibly making a comeback to WWE. It's looking very, very good for that. WrestlingNews.co have been told that an agreement has been reached for Sasha Banks and Naomi to return to WWE. It is believed backstage that a return for the pair is imminent. Now, many thought this would happen last night on Raw. Like, that's how close this could be. Obviously, it didn't, but it could be any time now. Dave Meltzer also noting that WWE were working out a deal between both parties pretty much immediately after the departure of Vince McMahon, because Vince seems to be the sticking point here for their return. Yeah,
definitely. You know, obviously there was a lot of stuff that happened whilst Naomi and Sasha Banks were still at WWE. They weren't booked properly with the tag team titles, and they felt very frustrated with that. And I think with the old guard in play there, nothing much was going to change in the slightest. And obviously now with Triple H at the helm of creative, then I think we're going to see some very positive changes. And also, it's even more exciting now with the fact that, like, we've got Dakota Kai back, we've got Io Sky back, we've got Bayley back. There's a lot more excitement, I think, surrounding WWE as a whole, but also the women's roster. Like, as soon as they came out at SummerSlam, everything felt revigorated again.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. And I can see, you know, there's so much possibilities for so many incredible matchups. And I think you'd be missing out if you didn't bring back Sasha Banks and Naomi to have amazing matches with all these incredible women.
Well, there's a golden opportunity here because obviously you've got Bianca Belair about to square up to Bayley, Sky, and Kai.
Yep.
I mean, if only there were two more women that could stand next to Bianca Belair to put on a six-woman tag team belter at Clash at the Castle. There's just a thought. Just throwing that fantasy booking out there. That'd be a nice thing. So you may have seen Trinity Fatu, aka Naomi, shooting down some rumors this week regarding some speculation about her and Sasha Banks. There was a report doing the rounds that said her and Sasha Banks were starting up a business together. Naomi has tweeted saying that this just is not true. However, she has not addressed rumors of the WWE return.
I'm feeling good about this, Tom.
Putting that out there. It was Raw last night, and it was the first Raw of we're calling it the Triple H era. Now, obviously, Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon oversee WWE as a whole, and the buck completely stops with them. But with Triple H heading the creative, we can kind of see some of those early steps in how Triple H wants the company to be, at least on a presentation perspective. And it looks bright for one of his faves from NXT, doesn't it, Andrew?
Oh, no one will survive, Tom. No. It's only Champa. Obviously, yesterday we saw there was like well, in fact, we'll get to that. I'll tell you what Fightful Selective said. So, Fightful has already learned of increased discussions about enhancing the presentation of Champa. Obviously, Champa is a Triple H favourite and was looked at one of the likely beneficiaries of the regime change. In addition, there were discussions about him regaining his NXT theme. Ooh, but we've not learned if that was confirmed. And then also, you know, Champa has received positive reviews from his peers and staff. Obviously, the promo that he did, bigging up The Miz for SummerSlam, unbelievable, like really, really good. And also it goes on to say his willingness to embrace the role and his attitude backstage since he was brought to Raw has been great. Everybody's really high on the man. One source said that his demeanor has been great and he's worked hard to make the most out of everything presented to him under Vince when he didn't even originally plan to ever be on Raw or SmackDown. In addition, as you can imagine, Ciampa's promo with The Miz turned a lot of heads and impressed several people backstage. And this just goes to show how good Champa is in a time where obviously he was the NXT champion as sort of Black and Gold was transitioning into NXT 2.0, and perhaps maybe him feeling as though he didn't fit in so well within that change, and then going up to Raw after hearing many a time that he was like, never going there, not going to the main roster, staying in NXT.
This is the main roster.
Yeah, and then going up to Raw and perhaps not really having anything creatively for him when he came up in the first place. He still made the best of what he was given, and that just goes to show you how good Champa is. So how good Champa can be whilst having something creatively behind him that's going to be a very exciting thing to see. We've already seen it in black and gold, but on a main roster level, it's very exciting and very promising for someone who I think definitely deserves a big push.
Well, we saw it in spades last night because after weeks and weeks of Champa being on the roster and being like, what are we doing with this guy? Oh, there's Champa. Oh, he's with The Miz now. And then, like you say, the promo that he cut that made people, in case they didn't know, go, wow, he's good.
Yes.
Why are we not funding this? Last night on Raw, what a night for Champa. Not only beating Dolph Ziggler and Chad Gable in a triple threat match, but then pinning AJ Styles.
This whole thing.
Whoa.
We have the two triple threat matches to get to this point. So there's like a triple threat between Champa, Dolph Ziggler, and Chad Gable, which Champa obviously wins. And then we have one with AJ Styles, Mustafa Ali, and I'm trying to think of the other one, Tom. It's gone. It slipped from my memory right now.
Either way, there were two triple threats.
It was very good. They were both very, very good. And then obviously we get Champa and AJ at the end to see who will go on to face Bobby Lashley for the US title. And Champa bloody wins it.
He just absolutely smashes it. I'm so excited. And now there was some shenanigans around the ring from The Miz. At one point, Miz putting Ciampa's foot on the ropes to stop him getting pinned to a Styles Clash. A Styles Clash, which I thought nearly ended badly for Ciampa.
Oh my God, yeah,
it's a big
definitely.
time, wasn't it?
I think you have to be careful with Ciampa, his neck, his poor neck.
But either way, fairy tale ending of 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah,
Champion Styles.
Yeah, the ending was they both scrap on the outside. AJ gets thrown over the barrier. Miz is over there as well, so Miz is like holding on to AJ's leg to try and get the count. AJ manages to get in, and then it's fairy tale ending time, and that's it.
And now Ciampa will face Bobby Lashley next week.
That is
in a first time ever. I am really excited after watching Raw last night.
Me too.
There's a few times I've certainly been given a bit of a rundown by saying, oh, Tom's very anti-WWE. And I don't know why people think that, because I think that, when WWE and AEW do something right, I applaud it. When they do something bad, I call it out in equal measure. I'd like to think so anyway, but please, don't get this twisted. Really excited for what WWE has in store for Ciampa.
Me too.
Very excited with his presentation last night. They made him wrestle, and he can wrestle. And I'm excited to see him and Lashley.
Oh, absolutely. One of the best NXT champions I think we've seen. And for him to take that energy into main roster, and if he takes the energy that he had with the NXT championship and uses it whilst holding the United States Championship, hopefully, fingers crossed. That will be a very exciting thing. And also, I think it'd give a little bit of something back to the mid-card title scene as well. Yeah. I think it'd make it feel special and exciting again.
Lashley and Ciampa is an exciting match, but I've got an even more exciting match for Lashley.
What?
Please notice that my tongue is planted firmly in my cheek when I say that. Lashley versus Mike Tyson.
Wow.
What is this? So, Fightful Select and Joshua Jones of Thirsty for News giving us some details on this one, sharing that there have been overtures and there is currently a feeling out process in terms of putting this together for a bare knuckle boxing match between Bobby Lashley and Mike Tyson.
A bare knuckle boxing
I think a bare knuckle fight between Bobby Lashley and Mike Tyson.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I'm not one for the for the punchy and kickies of realness like UFC. That's not for me. But this would be a huge crossover, right? This would be a huge crossover for wrestling and for boxing as well.
Now, a bare knuckle boxing promotion has started the ball rolling with these conversations of Mike Tyson and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley says it'll be an honor to fight with Mike Tyson at a show that could potentially take place at Madison Square Garden.
Wow, that's huge.
Potentially happening at Madison Square Garden. Now, Lashley has a history in the world of MMA and fighting away from wrestling. I'm not quite sure where his head's at in terms of whether the door's open or closed on that, but obviously the fact that, he's entertaining thoughts of having this fight with Mike Tyson suggests that perhaps the door's not closed on that one yet.
I just feel like if you're given that opportunity, and if you're someone like Bobby Lashley who can hold their own as well, I mean, why not?
It's certainly going to be. It'll be a showcase if anything. I couldn't see Mike Tyson knocking out Bobby Lashley at this point, but who knows?
Who knows? Stranger things have happened.
Speculation forever, friend, in the comments down below, and we'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Keys.
Love you, bye.